Y'all know what it is, y'all know what it ain't. Y'all already know me, man. I don't need no introduction, but Miss Drea, I've been dying to get you on the channel. I got some questions for you, man. And everybody been asking when I'm going to get you on. So thank you for coming to rock with us, man. How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm in the city. We in our city. Everything is good.
Most definitely cool. So I got some questions that I remembered in the back of my head, but I also got some that I want to get into. But before we get into those questions, I want to just get into like your backstory and your upbringing and everything about that. Where exactly are you from?
Listen, everybody always asks me that, and it's so funny. Honestly, I feel like I should call my dad. Like
Okay.
I should. I don't know if he's up. It's 8. Let me see. I'm gonna call my dad. Let me see, because everybody's always asking me that, and I feel like I should have gave him a heads up. But let me see. Let me call him and see if he answers. Hold on.
Okay, Papa O.
Right, Papa O.
And I haven't talked to him, so let's see.
For sure.
Because everybody be asking me where I'm from. I'm like, dude, I'm from Chicago. I was born in Chicago. Like, I was born on the north side.
North side, okay.
So a lot of people aren't familiar with, I guess, what's really going on out north. I mean, people are, but they're not.
How far north?
Like at the end of the red line, where the Jamaicans and the Africans are.
All right, so Rogers Park.
Yes, but
Oh,
it's still Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah. I work up there. That's a dangerous little area.
Exactly.
Right. So do you have like West Indian in your background or anything?
I'm Ghanaian.
I hear it. I hear it. That's why I had to ask where you from. I didn't know if it was Chicago, another city, or ethnicity or something like that.
Hi, Zazie. I'm doing a live interview right now, and they're asking me where I was born. So you're on live, you're on camera right now. Can you just tell me exactly where I was born?
You were born in Chicago.
What part?
On the north side of Chicago.
Thank you. And how did you end up on the north side of Chicago?
I had a friend that I went to school with, so when I came over here, he has an apartment.
And where did you come from?
I came from Windsor, Canada.
And then before that, where were you?
Before that, I was in Ghana, and I got a scholarship, and I came to school at the University of England.
Thank you.
After school.
Thank you. So I'm 100% Ghanaian, but I was raised on the north side.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. Have a good night. I'm going to call you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Real African American. Right there.
There you go. So it's funny because, yeah, a lot of people ask me that, but I'm like, shoot, I hope we recorded that. Are you recording?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I picked up everything.
A lot of people ask me that, so I feel like I just wanted to confirm and just call my dad, because people be like, where are you from? Where are you from? Why you sound so proper? I'm like, I sound proper because at home I was hearing African language. So it wasn't like I was hearing slang, like Chicago slang. My parents speak African at the house. So I'm learning my own English, you know what I mean? But I was born and raised in Chicago.
Got you. Okay. So what high school you went to?
I went to so when my dad stacked his money, because he came here on a scholarship from Ghana.
I heard.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
He came here my dad's smart. He's really smart. He came here on a scholarship from Ghana, and then my mom got pregnant, and then they made them get married, because this is back in the day.
Okay, so your mom from here?
My mom was from Ghana too.
Oh, okay.
So they came together. Like, he's young, 22. She probably like 18. They're dating. She gets pregnant. They make them get married. My dad's smart. He got a scholarship. He got a scholarship to come to Canada. She's pregnant. They make them get married. She gets to come too. Type shit. So that's how we ended up here.
That's right.
So he actually was driving a cab while going to school. So he's going to school at the same time, and he's an African cab driver. So on the north side, you guys know the African cab driver. That was, my dad.
I used to live up north.
Me too.
Exactly. So you're familiar.
Yeah, for sure.
So once he stacked his bread and graduated, he moved us to the suburbs.
Okay, cool.
So I was, I went to high school in the suburbs, but I was born in Chicago.
Okay, got you. For sure. And there's a big thing going on right now about what part of the suburbs could be like considered Chicago or not.
Yeah.
So I ain't trying to get all in your business, but what suburbs did you move to?
Like the Schaumburg area. I feel like.
Oh yeah, that's far.
Yeah, that don't really count, I guess, as the suburbs. They say that's like that doesn't count as Chicagoland area.
Yeah, not no more. Especially not Schaumburg. I took a drive out there. Damn. That felt like a whole road trip.
Like you get on 290, you get on 90, you head out west, you just keep going past O'Hare.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
So you had the good education, the good upbringing.
I did. I mean, it wasn't perfect. I feel like people think that if you grew up in the suburbs, everything is perfect, but obviously it's not. I'm a dark-skinned, chubby black girl with African parents. Like you know what I mean? Like we still got roasted, picked on. I'm still strong as ever from the roast circles. It's the same shit that you went through too. Everybody, you know what I mean?
I went through them.
Exactly.
In the suburbs of the city, you was getting roasted.
Like the subway.
Right, because I'm wondering, I'm like, there was a lot of black kids having roast circles in Schaumburg.
This what I wanted to ask you too, because I lived in Glenelg and Naperville before, and Joliet for a little bit.
It's black people in Naperville.
But did you have to go through any racism?
Of course, yes.
Like, I mean, real racist,
but
like
with white people though.
Exactly.
So it was more like I had to. Yeah. I mean, it's weird because like I didn't even realize it till I got older. Like, and then I remembered certain things that my white friends' parents have said and things like that. Yeah. So it was a little racist, but it was more of the, oh, you're black, but you're not like that. Which is still racist. That's like,
you're
wait,
one of the
what
good ones.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
You don't steal.
It's like, you're not like that. Oh, you're not, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which, when I got older, I'm starting to think like, what you mean? You know what I mean? But when I was younger, I didn't really realize that was, you know, racism.
For sure. So cool, man. I see, like, you got a good voice. Like, I could tell, like, media is most definitely, that fits you. Did you go to school for anything like that?
I did. So I went to Columbia, and I actually graduated. A lot of people don't.
Oh yeah,
they don't.
But it's a fun ass school. Okay. Like, don't it got the
one downtown?
Exactly, the one downtown. That a lot of people went to. There's a lot of famous people and successful people that went to the school, but a lot of people didn't finish. That's like a urban legend myth with that school. But
oh damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of people went, but they didn't graduate. So I actually finished. I graduated. I had no choice. I'm African household. And me even doing journalism and pop culture and hip hop, like, my African parents are still like, you know what I mean? Because they really wanted me to be a doctor and a nurse. But here I am, you know, on the internet.
For sure.
Covering the drill movement.
Now, I want to speak about that too a little bit, because I watched this documentary and it was with a Chinese family, and I guess with different different cultural upbringings, they got this thing where like different I guess races could be real strict, and I heard that about African families as well. Now there's something called like tiger parenting. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Did you have to go through any of that?
I mean, listen. So imagine your parents came here from another country, and they got it, and they made it, and they had you, and they put you in school, and they paid for your schooling,
for sure.
College, everything. They're gonna want you to be an astronaut. They came here as, you know what I mean? Like, the pressure is on. So having that much pressure on you is 100% true. Like, both of my parents are still married. Like, I had my mom and my dad in my whole life. My dad is one of the closest people to me. If I ever got in a situation, I would call my dad. And I'm grown. So it's like, having a father figure, honestly, is so important.
What was that? And
it's like, I think a lot of people just don't even understand how important it is. Like, there's certain things that I would never do because my dad is still alive. And it's just like, he don't even got to say anything. It's just the disappointment in his face that you know what I mean? So it's just certain things that I would never do. And that's just from being raised with two parents and having a father.
Right.
So it's like, it's just a different kind of experience, a different kind of thing. So it's a huge thing for me to just make sure that I'm successful and that I work as hard as I can. Because even though I'm in a field, I'm sure he wants me to probably be on CNN, but I still kind of I've made myself successful in my lane.
For sure.
But for my African parents, they don't know what's going on. So like, when I'm trying to explain to them that I'm covering these important trials that are important to hip hop, he don't care. He like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like, it's almost me still striving to like, not succeed, but like to show them that I did the right thing and I went down the right path. And the only way you could really do that is to show them monetarily.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that they're going to respect. So it's still kind of like, I'm still getting there, but I think he sees it and he understands it, and I'm grown as hell, so it's not like I'm still trying to impress my father type of thing. But I want to pay them back for the sacrifices that they made, because for him to leave his country and come to a foreign land and make something of it, and then have me, because I'm an American, but I'm 100% Ghanaian, but I'm American. Exactly. So he's like, dude, you have an American background, do your thing, go crazy, because he came here as a, you know, an immigrant. Yeah. So it's kind of hard on me to make sure that I succeed, and I think I've been trying to do that. You know, I've worked at all these different places, but really building my own thing is what I'm focused on right now. For sure. And I want to make sure that I can retire him and that he's straight, and then my mom is straight, everybody's straight. So.
Most definitely, I see.
What pushed you in that direction to take? You say you study pop culture and journalism at Columbia?
Dude, I don't know. And this is where I really want to stress this. Like, there's people that feel like they got a calling in their heart. And it might be rap. And it might be this. It might be that. And it's like you just have to really follow it. Because, like, if I tell you, I don't have no interest in rapping. I never made a rap song. I don't fucking care about shit like that. Part of my slang.
It's all good.
But if you have that on your heart, that means that that is something that you're supposed to be doing. Because, like, the average person don't have that calling on their heart. Like, the average person don't care about reporting news and editing videos and uploading them.
Exactly. Sure.
We do this.
Most definitely.
So it must be your God-given talent, and it must be your path that you're following. Because everybody don't have that same path. So
exactly.
We just been lucky to know what we want to do for a living and follow it. So it's like, if you feel like you know what you want to do, you really got to just sacrifice everything and follow it. And I think a lot of people don't do that. So it's like we do have these failed rappers and we do have these failed artists, but it's really like, I don't know if you really wanted it. Because if you really wanted it, it wouldn't be nothing stopping you. Like, there's days where I'm hungry and I'm like struggling. We don't show that, but we still uploading videos. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's some in us that still wants to pursue that. But if you really didn't want it, then you're not going to do it. But everybody has a calling on their life, and I think that if you follow it and you stay true to yourself, you can get it. But some people just aren't set up to follow that path, which is okay. Some people want to just work regular jobs, and they might have this calling to be a rapper, but they just didn't follow it. But everybody can follow their dreams and have what they want. It's just like you have to sacrifice to really get it. So I truly do believe that.
Most definitely. So now, with you going to school, and you taking that route, you going towards media, being a media. Well, just like, so when you was going to school and you was going in the lane of pop culture, was it trying to be like a media personality or like a broadcaster?
Yes.
A radio personality?
It's crazy because when I first started, I knew I was going to be on WGCI. Like,
okay, that was your goal.
That was my dream. I didn't even understand anything else. Like, I wanted to be on the radio. I wanted to be on WGCI, and then I wanted to either do that or go to Power 92. Because at the time, really, it's like, you know, coming up in Chicago, what else? Yeah, it's only, if you going to do media, you going to end up on Power 92 or WGCI. So those are my goals. And when I ended up graduating from Columbia, I got a scholarship to be a traffic reporter at iHeartMedia.
Oh,
so I'm like, let me just get my foot in the door and be a
first job out of college?
Yeah, my first job out of college. It was an internship. And then after my internship, I got hired. So I did that as a traffic reporter, and I was super young, and everybody was kind of older, and we was doing the traffic, like, the Eden's inbound from Lake Cook to Montrose is 20 minutes. Outbound to Lake Cook is the same. On the Kennedy, there's a stall on the right shoulder. So I'm doing that, and I'm like, damn, I want to be on the radio, and I still want to do interviews, So I'm like, if nobody's listening to me, nobody cares, I'm just going to make my YouTube channel. And I'm just going to put everything on the YouTube channel. So this is me thinking way down the line, just starting a YouTube, and that's what I did.
When did you first start doing it? Like, what year was that when you first made a YouTube channel?
Oh, I don't even know. Because I done lost so many channels. Like, I done lost so many channels. Like, my first channel, I lost it because I was just doing, like, just experimenting. Like, I went to the library, and I had clicked on all these ads from a whole bunch of different computers just to see what would happen. I lost my computer. Like, just doing stupid shit. You know what I mean? But I just knew, like, if no one was going to take me serious with the interviews, I was going to do it myself. So I always had that in my mind, like, okay, cool, I found YouTube. I'm just going to upload videos there. And then that's how I started. It was a long time. It was the beginning of the drill movement.
So 2012, 2011.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm like, my peers are getting contracts and deals for being rappers. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let me interview the people that are popping off. And that's how I ended up getting interviews with Lil Bibby when he was rapping. And that's how I ended up just, you know, being a publicist for Montana 300, because it was just like that was what was happening at the beginning. So I was there. So that's just how it happened. So it just all happened organically. It was like, oh, they're telling me no here at the radio station, so let me just do it myself.
That's raw. And relationships are real important to have when you on the up and up. And who were some of those friends that you mentioned that had deals? You said Lil Bibby, Montana 300.
Yes, Montana 300. At the beginning, I was his publicist. We went to New York. He was gonna actually sign a deal. He didn't sign it, and so like that's part of his story. I'm sure he'll tell it, but they were offering him like Todd Moskowitz and 300 were offering him deals, and he didn't take it. He stayed independent.
That's wrong. It's fuck. Shout out Montana.
Right, that's a name I haven't heard in a little minute.
A long time.
Let me take it back in, but I remember 2012.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly. Before Dreezy got on.
Shout out Drea.
I was just, you know, I was in the background of a lot of these different situations at the beginning. And I think we all kind of got on together because, like, when they ended up getting their deals in their situations, I ended up getting my first job in the industry, and that was working at SiriusXM. So I moved to New York. Like, I left my internship at iHeartMedia. I mean, not my internship because I was working there. So I worked at iHeartMedia for, like, 4 years. And then I felt like I just needed to, I always wanted to move to New York.
Did you always stay doing traffic reports over there? Did you branch out?
I was a producer.
Right.
And I just really wanted to be, I wanted to cover hip hop. But you know, in Chicago, it's only like 5 jobs.
Right.
Like you're the morning person, the afternoon person, or you're the night person. And then maybe you're like a side person on the side. So I felt like I needed to leave. So I met some people from New York, and I was like, I'm moving to New York. And they were like, if you move to New York, we'll help you. I'm like, bet. I packed up all of my stuff from my apartment. I sold everything, like couches, beds, everything. And at the time, I had a Nissan Altima Coupe. I drove my Nissan Altima Coupe from Chicago to New York.
Damn.
And I found it was 19 hours, but it took me 22 by myself. I drove by myself. And I found my apartment on Craigslist. And then I just called my friends like, dude, like, I'm here.
Was it expensive?
Like, what's up? Yeah. And then they looked at, like, seriously, like, they held their word down. And that was, like, my foot in the door into the industry. And then I started, like, doing camera work at SiriusXM, Hip Hop Nation. And that's where I got a lot of my interviews, like Boosie and a lot of things like that. So that was my foot in the door. But I had to take a risk. I had to, like, leave Chicago. So.
Now, how was that? Because that's always been a goal of mine, just packing up all my shit and leave Chicago and just starting over. Because I heard it's real hard to just try to make it in Chicago is difficult, you know, for the reasons you mentioned. But when you, like, the first year or so when you went to New York, was everything smooth sailing?
I was lucky because I ended up making connections with people that had their foot in the entertainment industry already. So I was blessed. Like, it's hard for me to say because, like, I was already raised kind of religious, but it was really God. Like, it was God. And I don't know, a lot of people might not believe in what I'm saying, but everything was, my footsteps were ordered. I didn't have no problems. Like, when I got there, the people that I already met in Chicago that were visiting from New York, like, held me down completely.
For sure.
So it was just like, you got to get here, and we got you. And then it was like that. So I never struggled.
That's wrong.
But it was because I struggled already here. And I've reached my pinnacle here, and I showed them that, and then they were like, dude, like, you come to New York and go crazy, and I did that. Got you.
Now, when I was researching your name, and, you know, right now it's a hot topic that's going on in the media, and that's P.Diddy.
Yes.
Puff Daddy. Now, I seen that you worked for Diddy.
I did. So after I left Hip Hop Nation, I was there for like 2 years But I was working on the in the background, like I was doing video work and stuff like that. So I wasn't officially like there. I was doing background work. But I ended up meeting people through that job that worked for Diddy at Revolt TV.
Okay.
And Revolt TV is a small Black-owned company. It was small. And I was just so lucky. I was so blessed to actually get a job working there. And it was my dream job. Like, when I tell you that my dreams came true, like, it was everything that I ever thought it would be and more. Like, Diddy gave us the opportunity to create and just be ourselves, but we had to stand on it. So it's like, if it didn't work out, you had to stand on it, and like, you know what I mean? But the fact that we got the opportunity to create and just run and do so many crazy things, like, that was my favorite job, my best job. Like, I had a ball. I never, to this day, that was my best job, my favorite job ever. Like, I met Jay-Z, I met Beyonce, like, I done, you know, like, I saw Cassie, like, Mary J. Blige, everybody that you could ever think of. Like, we was a really small team, and we were like a family. I still am close with some of my old coworkers to this day. Like, we still hit each other up and talk all the time because it was a small team, and it was a Black-owned company, and most of us were Black. A couple of us weren't, but that wasn't the point. It was more of like us understanding the culture and running. Like, I met Farrakhan. I did everything that you could think of there. Like, I have an interview on the channel that has like 1.3 million. It actually probably has more than that on Revolt TV. I interviewed my childhood friend. She actually ended up catching HIV in Atlanta.
Damn.
Yeah, and I brought the idea to them, and they let me produce it, and it's on the channel right now. So
that's a big one.
Yeah.
Everything we ever wanted to do and everything we could do, like, he led us. So
did you have your own show there, or were you like more so interviewing people?
I was running the social media in the New York office, and then I was interviewing people and writing articles. So it was kind of like a threefold kind of job situation.
That's right. So you got a chance to meet Diddy and everything.
Yeah, like, he would pull up to the office, but they would tell us ahead of time. They would be like, Diddy's coming to the office tomorrow. Make sure your hair's combed. You dress. Like, we had rules. You couldn't drink anything that wasn't his, because Diddy has his own water.
Damn.
So we had to drink his. I forgot what the water was called. You couldn't drink anything that wasn't his alcohol, because he had at the time Ciroc, and he also had De Leon. So these are rules. Like, you had to make sure that you only had things that were his brand. If he was coming to the office next to you, you had to look nice. You had to make sure you had your hair. Like, everything had to be on point. Because if he walked through the office and he saw you not looking right, like, you could get fired. Like, it was like making the band. Like, it was like that.
Did you ever see anybody get fired?
Well, when I was there, this one person got fired because they broke a glass door. And I don't know exactly what the details to that was, but they might have been drunk and they broke a glass door. Yeah, because it was like unlimited Ciroc.
Right. in the heyday of Ciroc too.
Yeah.
It was unlimited. Like, it would be like 12 p.m. and we would go into the kitchen. It was just like unlimited Ciroc at all times. So yes. But you couldn't be drunk.
You're right.
You had to, like, compose yourself.
For sure.
But you had unlimited alcohol, yes.
Damn, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's nice you got to interact with him. So what you think about everything you've been seeing in the news about him lately?
See,
like, is it believable?
I mean, here's the thing. And I spoke about this a couple times. Like, I talked about this on No Jumper, but it was before all of the details came out. I actually spoke on this too on Fresh and Fit, but like I said, it was before all the details came out. What I can say and what I could speak on from personal experience, like, the only thing I do want to say, obviously I don't want to discount anybody's accusations, and I don't even want to speak on none of that. The only thing that I can say that's sad is the fall of a Black icon.
For sure.
So it's like, whether he's guilty or not guilty, it's like, we done had Diddy in our lives since we was kids.
I know, right?
Bad boy, like, dude, like, he had the Black Excellence thing.
Yep.
He had his own Black network. He was Black Love, like, he was all of these
Brother
things. And now we're watching the fall of an empire, like, right before our eyes.
Exactly.
Similar to R. Kelly, similar to Bill Cosby, similar to Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, okay, who's going to emerge next as black examples? So those are the things that I kind of think about. Like, I don't want to say whatever is happening is true or false, but it's just like, okay, we just need black leaders and we need examples.
Yeah. Do you think it's targeted? With you working in media too, you kind of see how media targets certain people. You know what I mean?
I do think it's interesting that they say that he was doing, you know, like he was in a dispute with the liquor company.
The parent company of Drea.
Yeah. I do think that that's all very interesting, but I can't really say, because I just can't really say, but did you know Lil Rod's from Chicago?
Who?
Lil Rod, yeah. The dude that's suing him.
Oh, yeah, the producer.
Yeah, the producer dude. That's
Have
crazy.
you ever heard of him?
Never.
Yeah, that's weird.
Do you know
Everybody's like, dude, how we all know each other, but we never heard of him.
And you didn't really personally deal with Diddy too much. Like, you don't have no crazy stories or nothing. You just seen him come in and work.
I mean, I've been to a whole bunch of parties, but
oh, you been to the Diddy parties? Oh shit, yeah.
But I wouldn't say that I seen anything. Like, I didn't see him doing.
Right, you weren't partying.
No.
Right, you ain't
went to the parties. It's
no,
different.
I got my own stories, but it's nothing to do with Diddy.
Right.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like what type of story?
Yeah.
I mean, the industry is a very crazy place. I'll just say that. You just have to be very ready and very careful. I think a lot of people want something that they don't know that they want. You know what I mean?
That's scary a little bit when you say it like that. That's a little
You
scary.
feel like people get blinded by like just wanting to succeed more so that they'll do things that they end up regretting later?
I think the grass is never greener. I think the way that life is set up, you have to give to take. It's just the yin and the yang. That's how we are right now as human beings. Like, you got to give up something for something. And it's like you just have to decide on what you want to give up to get what you want to get.
Right.
And that could be you could take that any way.
For sure.
You could take that any way. It could be your time. It could be your, like, you know.
Yeah. Damn. Okay, so man. All right. So now you in New York doing your thing out there. But obviously a lot of people know you from, they might know you from the Chicago media and stuff that you've been doing here. When did you kind of make that switch to the drill culture?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think it's so crazy because I've always been covering the drill movement, but it wasn't even called drill. Like, it didn't even have a name. I think the drill name, honestly, even in the dictionary, wasn't even established till recently. So
damn,
it was like,
drill made dictionary?
Yeah, it did. Finally, it did.
That's raw.
But we didn't even know what we were covering at the time. So I'm covering Chief Keef and everything that's happening, but it wasn't called drill. It was just what was happening. It was just news. So I think that I started off covering Chicago and what was going on in Chicago. And it just so happened to be the drill movement.
Gotcha.
And then I kind of went mainstream, moved to New York, started interviewing big celebrities. But the Chicago movement is so strong. And I don't even know if we understand how important we are. Because we're always constantly looking for outside validation. People always feel like they got to move and do this and that. When we're the sauce and we are the blueprint, as you can see. Birthing something that's called the drill movement and it going to New York,
Florida,
everywhere. You know what I mean? Canada. UK. We should understand how important we are to culture.
Africa.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, I remember I had African dudes, they were like, I'm GBE. From Ghana, I'm GBE.
Exactly.
And they all like...
I think there was...
Go ahead.
No, there was a viral picture that went viral recently of a grandma wearing it.
Africa.
And so it's like, dude, we don't understand how important we are.
Have you been back to Africa?
I have. I actually have to go. It's my dad's 70th birthday.
Okay.
So I got to go this summer.
Okay.
So I'm going to be gone for a couple weeks. I got to go to Ghana. We still have a house there. We still have all of our roots there.
That's what's up.
So it's cool to just be able to escape and go back.
Do you be seeing like lions and shit? Like,
no. I mean, like, dude, it's not even how they show it on TV. It's a regular place. Like, when I went to Ghana last time, we was eating Chinese food.
Damn.
And it's like, you're like, what? But the Chinese people, like, they've taken over.
Chinese
people.
Big time.
In Africa. Yes.
I heard what's going on.
It's a whole new lineage
of
Ghanaians and Asians. Like, it's like a whole new race of people.
Oh,
we don't even know what's going on, but they done took over already.
I heard something about now. I might not be well enough educated on this topic to speak too much about it, but I also heard about like Akon having contracts with China, with certain lands in Africa and stuff like that, and how it's kind of for the worse at the end.
He tried to build something, but I don't know exactly what happened with his city. He was building a city. I don't know.
Okay, gotcha.
A lot of infrastructure projects, right? Like governments will link up with China and they'll borrow money to build a bridge, and then China, if they default on the payments, they don't pay in time. China will take the bridge over.
Yep. I wonder if that is that. I wonder if that got something to do why they in Africa like that, or they just always
for money.
For sure.
Money. They getting a lot of money about Africa.
Yeah.
For sure.
Gold, oil.
Most definitely.
That's the motherland.
Cobalt to make phones.
Yeah.
Computer chips.
Yeah.
Yep.
Chocolate.
Chocolate.
They got kids. Right. They got kids picking cocoa beans right now.
Yep. Tobacco, everything.
For free.
But damn. Okay, that's deep when you think about it.